Good late Sunday evening. I'm certified meteorologist Nick Kelly checking in on this October 14th of 2018. Another weekend has come and gone, but this weekend, if you're not a fan of this weather, it was better spent inside, snuggled under a blanket or near the fire, especially with a good book. It's just that kind of weekend, and hopefully more of that to come as we get into the rest of the fall and even the winter season proper. For the time being, though, we will have some brighter days ahead of us as we get the new work week and school week underway, but for some, we are definitely looking at our first likely frost, if not freeze, for some of you, especially over the next 24 hours or so. Let's get right to the forecast, starting with a look back on how our day went. Sunday morning, with the start of the Skywatch Storm Tracker here at about 6 o'clock this morning, showed everybody underneath quite a bit of cloud cover, definitely pockets of mist and fog overnight underneath. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies. The morning was dry overall. Then we saw the drizzle, mist, and the rain work back in late this afternoon and this evening. We even had a few random thunderstorms popping up, especially with that last batch there coming out of northeast Oklahoma and south central Kansas. For the time being, at 11:01 on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, the radar network showing the brunt of any accumulating rain and even some random thunderstorms along south and east of the Interstate 44 corridor, and you don't have to venture too far outside of our area to see where the snow has been throughout the entire day and even going into the night. Snow still going on around Wichita, up the Turnpike to Topeka, Salina, and then even still extending up beyond Kansas City and St. Joseph. We don't have to deal with snow for the time being, but we will have a little taste of winter around as we go through the next few days. 7th range line late on this Sunday night shows still wet roads, some, let's say, mist or drizzle droplets or even some rain dotting the lens from the east side of the city. In general, it's looking at least calm late on this Sunday night. 58 for an afternoon high today, and that low of 42, that is actually the latest observation in terms of today's low from the Joplin Regional Airport. Keep in mind, we should be topping out around 72 on a normal day like this and starting only around 49 degrees. So both numbers quite a bit below normal once again. And at least in terms of measurable rainfall, we picked up 1/10 of an inch at Joplin Regional. Latest look at the numbers at 11:03 on this Sunday night. Cold. 42 degrees, definitely feels cold with that north breeze pushing at 17. I wouldn't be surprised if we got gusts pushing near 20 already. That's making it feel like it's 34 degrees outside, and the humidity's still kind of high at 92%, but we are seeing that dew point drop. So we're seeing drier air starting to work in behind the cold front. Speaking of, everybody was ahead of the cold front at the 1 o'clock hour. You can see how ahead of that sharp contrasting temperature contour there, most of us were in the 50s. In general, at 1 o'clock, and you can argue a few spots in northeast Oklahoma around Grand Lake, right around 60 degrees. Then you can easily see that cold front doing the trick as it pushed on through 35 in Yates Center by about 5 o'clock. And then once you hop over Fort Scott, Parsons, and Nowata, that was where the warmer air still resided, with temperatures in the middle to upper 50s. Now everybody's in the chill, with middle to upper 30s on the Kansas side, and then sneaking back into the lower 40s once you hit the 69 corridor and work back into Missouri and Arkansas. Skywatch Storm Tracker again, we're getting the last little bit of rain with the system out of here. If we had any bit of a wintry mix try and graze by our far northwestern counties, I would say it's mainly north and west of Yates Center. It's mainly going to stay right along the Kansas Turnpike around Emporia, but the snow has definitely been prevalent across the good portion of Kansas today, and then stretching all the way up to the Great Lakes throughout the course of the afternoon and evening. The cold front in question, that's continuing to push south and east, and we're letting high pressure behind the front be in charge of our weather as we go through the next few days. It'll bring in brighter skies for sure, but it's also a cold high, so it's definitely going to keep the cooler than normal air in place as we get the new work week and school week underway. So any rain chances still out there, we'll taper it off as we go into the overnight. And actually, by the time we hit sunrise Monday morning, we'll actually have some clearing skies underway. So we'll say mostly cloudy skies to start the night, then gradually turning partly cloudy by the time we hit 6 a.m. Most of us will be starting around 37 degrees, so you'll definitely want to bundle up with that north breeze too. It may feel like the lower 30s, believe it or not. By noon, partly sunny, 44 degrees, and then ending the day with mostly sunny skies, but with that north breeze still in play. We're not going to do much of a warm-up. We should be topping out around 48 in Joplin. I think that's where most of the area will be topping out. going into Monday afternoon, mainly around 48 degrees. You can think that north breeze around that high pressure that will be in charge. Let's talk about tomorrow night. And to put it in perspective, in terms of when we usually see our first frost around here, it's during the month of October. You can see how the dates vary a little bit. Outside of Chanute, Pittsburgh, Joplin, Miami Grove, and Bartlesville, you see the blue contours. We usually see our first frost between the 11th and the 20th, and then right in the middle of it in the white, we usually see our first frost pick up around the 21st to about Halloween. That's on average when we see our first frost around here, and we're pretty much right on schedule with that in terms of how the future track wants us to fare. As we go into Monday night, you see temperatures already dipping back into the middle to upper 30s, and depending on how much cloud cover we have, I think some of us will have some mostly clear skies going into the overnight. I think Joplin bottoms out around the mid-30s, let's say 35 degrees, but especially north and west of Joplin, if you get some clear skies overnight, that will allow you to come close to 32 degrees. So maybe a light freeze for some, if not definitely a frost, to start your Tuesday morning out. Then we'll turn partly sunny by Tuesday afternoon. We should be back into the mid-50s for afternoon highs. Then going into Wednesday morning, not quite as cold. We'll be starting right around 40 degrees, and then we'll see temperatures at least going back to about 60 degrees or so going into Wednesday with mostly sunny skies. Beyond Tuesday and Wednesday, let's keep the 60s going for Thursday. I think most of the day is dry, but we'll have our next system sneak in late Thursday night going into Friday. So that's why I threw in just a few showers possibly for Thursday afternoon, mainly Thursday evening. Then I think our better shot for rain. It's going to be scattered showers under mostly cloudy skies. That'll keep temperatures around 60 for Friday, 61 on Saturday, and maybe another good punch of cooler air trying to work in by the end of next weekend, possibly 58 by Sunday. Have a good night. Have a great Monday.